revealing the treasures, revealing
Jagannath's mercy to the whole world. Thank you, Maharaj. Yesterday we discussed from the Shree Chaitanya Charitamrita, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's great mercy upon the residents of Jagannath Puri, and especially Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. In this pastime, like in all the pastimes of the Lord, there are limitless lessons that we could learn. Srila Prabhupada told us that when we read from Bhagavad Gita, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srimad Bhagavatam, if we are sincere, every time we read, it becomes newer and newer. Because it is none different than Krishna. Krishna is personally present in transcendental sound vibration. And as Krishna's beautiful forms are ever increasing in how they affect the hearts of the devotees, so it is with his words. The simplest sloka from Bhagavad Gita has limitless levels of intimate realizations that a devotee can receive by speaking, by hearing, and by meditating upon. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was the most celebrated and respected scholar in all of India. Kings, sannyasis, pandits, they came to learn from him. But through his scholarship, he had no qualification to understand the true meaning of the Vedic literatures. Krishna tells very clearly in Bhagavad Gita, Vedaischa sarver aham eva vedyo vedanta krit veda vedeva chaham, that I have compiled the Vedas, I am the knower of the Vedas, and by all Vedas I am to be known. Krishna declares himself as the absolute truth. Param Brahma Param Dhamma Pavitram Uttamam. Arjuna recognized that fact. And he also proclaimed that all the great sages, Narada, Devala, Asita, Vyas, they have all taught us this. Kamsa was face to face with Krishna, but he only wanted to hurt Krishna. He had no faith in Krishna. Ravana was face to face with Ram. Hiranyaksha with Varahadev. Hiranyakashipu, Narasimhadev. In Vrindavan, all of those asuras, Putana, Trinavarta, Sakatasura, Aghasura, Vatsasura, Bakasura, Aristasura. They were seeing Krishna in his presence, but they were not feeling happiness. So it is not with our eyes, it is not with what we have, what we do, or what we know that we can understand Krishna. It is only by Krishna's mercy. And the culmination of all the knowledge of all the scriptures is simply to lead us into understanding how to receive the mercy of Krishna. Mahajano yena katasa panta. By following in the footsteps of those who are truly surrendered to Krishna. In Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srimad Bhagavatam, if we have faith, if we're truly in the mood of servant of the servant of the servant, we are personal eyewitnesses in the present moment of the loving relationships between the Lord and his loving devotees. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally came in this age of Kali, a time where people are most unqualified to teach us. And those lessons are especially revealed in the relationships he has with his devotees. It was when the Lord bestowed his mercy on Sarvabhauma, when Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, out of affection, opened his heart and humbled himself and truly wanted to please the Lord, that he could understand Krishna as he is. Bhaktyatvanadya shakya aham evam vidurujana. Krishna says it is only by bhakti, devotion, that I can be understood as I am, standing before you. Undivided devotion. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's realization was not only that it was by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya that he had the highest realization of love for Krishna, but it was because his son and his brother-in-law, Gopinathacharya, was merciful to him. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya wouldn't even claim that he had direct mercy of Lord Chaitanya. Gopinathacharya was chastising him. In fact, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Prabhupada said they were brother-in-laws, so sometimes Gopinathacharya would jokingly blaspheme Sarvabhauma. And because of that, he gave credit that Lord Chaitanya bestowed his mercy upon me. In Srivas Angam, Lord Chaitanya gave prema bhakti to all the household residents of Srivas Thakur. The servants, the maidservants, even the dogs. He said, I give them all love of Krishna because they are all dear to you, Srivas. Lord Chaitanya, as we will perhaps speak of in future days, he sent a simple street dog back to Godhead instantly. That dog didn't do any sadhana. He just ate Srivas Thakur's rice. Shivananda Sen's rice. But because Shivananda Sen showed affection to that dog, Lord Chaitanya felt obliged to give him the highest perfection. And here in Puri, the son-in-law of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, his name Amoga, he went out of his way, took risks, just to insult Lord Chaitanya. And he attained pure devotional service. And Lord Chaitanya said it is because he's your son-in-law, because of his connection to you, Sarvabhauma. Therefore, Krishna has given him the perfection of life. After a long life of pursuing scholarship and achieving impersonal liberation, Brahma Gyan, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya tasted the sweet nectar of prema ras, loving service. Sri Rupa Goswami tells that compared to the limitless ocean of the happiness one gets through serving Krishna with love, the happiness found in the impersonal liberation of Brahman realization is not even a drop. And a few days later, Lord Chaitanya told Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, I'm leaving on a journey to South India, which would take some years. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya only wanted the Lord's happiness. After Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left Shree Jagannath Puri Dham, the king of Odisha, Prataparudra Maharaj, came to Puri. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was his guru. He asked Sarvabhauma, I heard, so many people are talking about this, that a very enlightened sannyasi has just been here to Puri. Do you know anything about him? Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he said, yes, he has just been here, but he left. He has gone on a tour to Setubanda, looking for his brother. King Prataparudra said, if he's such a great enlightened personality, why did you allow him to leave? Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya replied, he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's the cause of everything that exists and he's completely independent. There was nothing within my power or anyone's power to change his mind. King Prataparudra, just hearing this one sentence completely changed his life. He said to his guru, Because you proclaim Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I accept this as the absolute truth with complete faith. He said, please, when he returns, arrange darshan, an interview for me to see him. Sarvabhauma, he said, this is very difficult because Lord Chaitanya is a sannyasi in the renounced order, and he will not meet a materialistic person in your position as a king. And King Prataparudra was begging, pleading, please try to make this arrangement. Meanwhile, Lord Chaitanya traveled throughout South India, and after approximately 2 years, he was just about to return to Puri. It was at that time that King Prataparudra again met Sarvabhauma and asked him, by any means, please arrange this darshan. Otherwise, how will I live? Then Lord Chaitanya arrived. And he went right to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's home. And the two of them went to Jagannath's temple for darshan. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, when he told King Prataparudra that Lord Chaitanya was coming within a day or so, he asked the king, please arrange a place where Lord Chaitanya could stay. A place that's very clean, very quiet, peaceful, and close to Jagannath's temple. The king, he said, I know just the place, the house of Kashi Mishra. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya brought Lord Chaitanya to Kashi Mishra's home. Kashi Mishra, he offered his prostrated obeisances to the Lord, and from his heart of hearts, he offered his body, his mind, his words, his life, his home, his family, his everything in a spirit of true Sharanagati surrender for Lord Chaitanya's pleasure. And Lord Chaitanya understood his heart and reciprocated. At their first meeting, Lord Chaitanya revealed his four-armed form, Narayan, to Kashi Mishra. There in Kashi Mishra's house, Lord Chaitanya was given a very nice seat. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya began to bring the Sevites, the servants of Lord Jagannath, to meet him. Because when the word spread that Lord Chaitanya was returning, everyone was coming to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Please arrange for us to meet Lord Chaitanya. They had that culture. No one was approaching Lord Chaitanya directly. They were all going to one who they understood the Lord loved and who loved the Lord. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya invited them to all come. They were all sitting around Lord Chaitanya, and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was introducing each one and what their personal service was to Lord Jagannath in the temple. This is Janardhan. During the Anabasara, when Lord Jagannath is in seclusion after the Snan Yatra, he's serving the Lord. And one after another, Lord Chaitanya was bestowing his mercy on these devotees. Then Bhavananda Rai came in with his 4 sons. And he introduced himself. In fact, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said he is the father of Ramananda Rai. And just because Ramananda Rai was so dear to the Lord bestowed his full mercy on the whole family. Lord Gauranga said to Bhavananda Rai, "You are none different than Pandu, and your wife is Kunti Devi, and your children are none different than the 5 Pandavas." Bhavananda Rai said, "It is by your mercy. How could you accept me in this way? I'm actually a Shudra. I'm from a very low stratum of society. I have no qualifications. But I surrender my life and my family and everything to you. And one of my sons, here he is, Vaninath Rai, for the rest of his life, he will be your personal servant." After some time, when everybody left, Lord Chaitanya brought in the person who traveled through South India with him, Kal Krishna Das. Lord Chaitanya said to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, "Consider this person. He came and traveled with me, and then he abandoned me, being enticed by the Bhattataris. He gave up my service for his own selfish sense enjoyment. And I had to literally save him and drag him back. Now I have brought him back here safely. I relieve him of any service. He can go anywhere. He can do anything he likes. But nothing else for me." Kal Krishna Das was sitting right in front of Lord Chaitanya while he's talking to Sarvabhauma. Kal Krishna Das cried. He was a devotee. He dedicated his life. But he made a serious mistake. And Srila Prabhupada explains how careful we must all be. Because Maya is so strong. The allurements and attractions of this material energy can be so subtle and so deep that even someone who is the personal associate and servant with Lord Chaitanya directly 24 hours a day for years, even such a person, if he's inattentive, could be attracted by Maya. It's a very important story so that we could all understand the responsibility we have to be very careful. In one place, Srila Prabhupada writes, if one is not attentively and carefully chanting at least 16 rounds of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra every day, at any moment that person can fall victim to Maya. Daivi heshu gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mame pamye prapadyante maya me tatarantite. This material nature is very powerful. But one who takes shelter of me can easily cross beyond it. In the association of devotees, we're reminded of the importance at every moment how we must take shelter of Krishna. When we're hearing Krishna Katha, when we're chanting japa in kirtan, when we're performing our seva, even when we're performing our routine duties, it's very important. Without the shelter of Krishna, we are defeated. Gajendra in the Srimad Bhagavatam was so powerful. Even lions and tigers and rhinoceros, they would all run away from Gajendra when he would roar. But even he was defeated by a crocodile. And in material existence, there are such crocodiles everywhere. Padam padam yadvi padam natesham. When the scriptures say that in this material world there is danger at every step, that doesn't only refer to you could crash in an airplane, you could crash in a car, some little personality may be in your body that causes cancer or some virus. At any moment, your heart could just stop. People could drop bombs, they could shoot guns. So on a physical level, there's danger at every step. Here in India, one little mosquito can kill you. And what can you do? However careful you are, can anyone say that no mosquito will bite me? And if it just happens to be the right mosquito, you're dead. Or you could suffer miserably. So physically, there is danger at every step. But more importantly, spiritually, there's danger at every step. The nature of the mind and the senses, we're so habituated to enjoy the nature of the false ego. As devotees, the tendency to criticize another devotee with the wrong motivation can seriously disturb our spiritual progress. What to speak of so many other temptations? So when we understand this, that there is danger at every step in this world, spiritually, materially, emotionally, Thakur Bhakti Vinod prayed, "My Lord Krishna, I have seen and considered all the 14 planetary systems. And I have come to the realization that only you could save me." And Krishna is so merciful. Nam namakari bahuda nija sarva shaktis. Kali kale namarupe Krishna avatar. He has descended in his holy names with all of his powers, readily accessible to give us shelter. But that is dependent on the sincerity in which we take shelter. In whatever position we're in, we may have a high role or a low role. Neither one will protect us from Maya. Only seeking shelter of Krishna. Manaso deho geho joho kichu more. Arpiluntu Alpade Nanda Kishore. Thakur Bhakti Vinod, he was a Grihastha, he was in a very high service for the British government. He was also the most celebrated Vaishnava of his day. Even the greatest renunciates like Gaur Kishore Das Babaji were coming to learn from him. So he was materially, spiritually, everything. He was so accomplished. And yet he's praying, Krishna, my body, my mind, my words, my life, my home, my family, everything belongs to you. In the beautiful prayer, Gopinath, he's praying to Lord Gopinath. Amara Jivana. Considering himself to be most fallen, most unqualified. This is a wonderful revelation. The most qualified people feel that they're the least qualified. And the least qualified people think they're most qualified. But even if we feel ourselves least qualified, that alone doesn't solve the problem. When we truly feel ourselves least qualified, then we humble ourselves before the mercy of Krishna. That means humbling ourselves before the mercy of Krishna's devotees. So Kal Krishna Das, he was watching all Lord Chaitanya's Leelas. We know so many of the Leelas of Lord Chaitanya because they were witnessed by Kal Krishna Das, revealed to the Vaishnavas. But still, Lord Chaitanya wanted to use him as an example. He was inattentive. But still, Lord Chaitanya forcibly rescued him. But he wanted to make an example. Kal Krishna Das was totally broken-hearted. In his mind, his whole life was an utter failure. Samsiddhir Haritoshanam. The only valuable thing in our life is to the extent we please Krishna. And here Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is displeased with him to the extent he's rejecting him. Kal Krishna Das was crying piteously. Lord Chaitanya's response, without saying another word, he walked out of the room to go have lunch prasadam. But the devotees, they felt great compassion for Kal Krishna Das. Nityananda Prabhu, Mukunda Dat, Jagadananda Pandit, Damodar Pandit, they were considering in their minds, how can we save him? How could we give him service so he can be happy? So they devised a plan. The plan was that he go to Bengal because Sachi Mata and Advaita Prabhu, Srivas Prabhu, Gadadhar Prabhu, Haridas Thakur, all of these Vaishnavas, they're in separation from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for several years. They have not heard any news about him. They don't even know that he's returned to Puri. Kal Krishna Das could go to Bengal. He could bring the Mahaprasad of Jagannath and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He could announce that Lord Chaitanya has returned, invite them to all come to Puri to see the Lord, and he could narrate the wonderful pastimes that he personally witnessed of Lord Chaitanya through these years in South India. They gave so much encouragement to Krishna Das because all he wanted is service. Without that service, nothing else in his life would have any meaning. The next day they went to Lord Chaitanya, and Nityananda Prabhu said, "We would like to send one devotee to Bengal to inform your mother Sachi and all the other devotees headed by Advaitacharya that you have returned. Please give us permission." Lord Chaitanya knows everything. His reply, "Do whatever you decide." That was all. So they made every arrangement. And Srila Prabhupada explains in this context the very important lesson of this story. That the devotees are even more merciful than Krishna. Now Krishna's Karuna Sindhu. How can anyone be more merciful than Krishna? Most devotees are jivatmas. We're infinitesimal parts and parcels of Krishna. How can an infinitesimal part and parcel be more merciful than Krishna? All mercy is coming from Krishna. Janmadya Shayataha, everything is emanating from Krishna. Is this just some sort of poetic explanation, but really doesn't have truth to it? It's true. The devotees are more merciful than Krishna. How is it possible? Because it's Krishna's will. Achintya Shakti. Krishna has inconceivable potencies. By his own will, he could manifest his compassion even more through his devotee. But the compassion is all ultimately his own. Another important lesson in this story is how the devotees cared about each other. Krishna Das did make a serious mistake. When Lord Chaitanya was resting, Krishna Das didn't ask his permission, "I want to go meet Bhattacharya." He just abandoned him. He didn't say anything. He left him. And he didn't come back on his own. Lord Chaitanya had to go through so much trouble. We read in the pages that Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami writes, Lord Chaitanya told the Bhattacharys, "You are sadhu." were screaming, crying, running away, and their own weapons were chasing after them and punishing them. And in that scenario, Lord Chaitanya grabbed. But the devotees, they didn't think, well, Lord Chaitanya, you made a serious mistake. You fell down. The Lord is angry with you. Prabhu, you're in Maya. For devotees in Maya, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, where there's the greatest the need, there's the greatest opportunity to serve. Vaishnava society, if somebody's having difficult, we try to help that person. In our body, if something happens to any part of the body, every organ, every limb, every part of the body is trying to send energy to heal that one part. So in Vaishnava society, it's priority of our lives to help keep each other strong spiritually. And where we find somebody's not very strong, to try to uplift them in whatever way we can. That's why satsang is so important. Because without the association of devotees, none of us are strong spiritually. The great acharyas are giving this wisdom to us. They're saying that they need that beautiful song, Bhajahure Manasri Nanda Nandana Abhaya Charanara Vindare Durlabha Manava Chanama Satsange Taraha Bhavo Sindare. My dear mind, please worship Sri Nanda Nandana. Because by worshiping Krishna, you become, by taking shelter of his lotus feet, you become fearless. This human life is so rare. Out of 8,400,000 species of life, to attain this human life is a very rare, special blessing. But the rarest and most valuable of all the gifts in human life is the association of devotees, satsang. Sometimes when things are readily and easily available, we take it for granted. Srila Prabhupada's so kind. He established temples. Hundreds and hundreds of temples are there now all over the world. And some of us are living in places where, I've gone to that temple so many hundreds and hundreds of times. So what? But temples are places to find the shelter of satsang. In our homes, satsangs. It's a grave necessity for everyone to actually find shelter in the association of devotees. And it's also a grave responsibility for everyone to be an instrument to give each other the association of devotees. There's a common saying, in giving we receive. This is especially true in spirituality and bhakti. When we try to act as instruments of compassion to uplift another devotee, we are receiving the mercy of Krishna. We are actually able to recognize, appreciate, and access the blessings of the association of devotees. If we criticize devotees, you know what Krishna does? He gives us one of the worst punishments there is. We lose our appreciation of the association of devotees. And then our spiritual life is seriously stifled. If we take the association of devotees for granted, if we're not trying to uplift and encourage people to become more Krishna conscious, if we're not understanding the value and humble ourselves before that blessing, then through fault finding, through taking it for granted, padam padam yadvi padam natesham, it's a danger, then we no longer appreciate the association of devotees. We take it to be something ordinary. We take it as a burden. Instead of being excited and enthusiastic, it becomes a burden. We'd rather do so many other things. If that's happening to us, then we should just understand. That means I have to change my consciousness. I have to really be more and more in the mood of a Sevite, a servant. Because in Krishna consciousness, sometimes, as we're devotees for many years, we're making spiritual advancement, but also danger comes when we become complacent. So we have to protect each other from that complacency. And we have to uplift each other whether we see that complacency. And this message is so strongly revealed in this wonderful Leela of Chaitanya Charitamrita. The devotees gave Krishna Das the most glorious service. What was the service? To make devotees happy. They gave him large quantities of prasad, and obviously they had people, helping him carry all that prasad. He had garlands of Jagannath. He had so much Mahaprasad of Jagannath. When he entered Navadvip Dham, he first went to the house of Sachi Mata, and he offered his prostrated obeisance, his dandavats, at the lotus feet of Sachi Devi, and said, Sri Gauranga has returned. Sachi Mata was beyond limits happy to hear that her son was safe at home. As a mother, in Krishna's Leela, Yashoda Mai, how she would worry about Krishna. To see of suffering anxieties about Krishna. That is a sublime instruction. They were suffering anxiety of Krishna, but because it was out of love, it was a higher ecstasy by billions and trillions of times of Shanti, of the peace of being in yogic samadhi. Because it's love. So Sachi Devi, my son has taken sannyas, and now he's wandering around South India barefoot. I don't know anything about him. She was in constant meditation of motherly love, worrying about him, and now Krishna Das comes to give her the good news that Gauranga Mahaprabhu has returned. And Sachi Mata is asking, tell me everything, everything. And he's narrating one Leela after another Leela of all the incredible, wonderful pastimes of compassion and mercy that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performed in South India. How Sachimatu is blessing Kal Krishna Das. Soon then he went to Advaitacharya's house and told him everything. And Advaitacharya was roaring like a blissful lion in happiness. And he announced to all the devotees, Lord Chaitanya has returned to Puri. We should all go to Puri immediately. And soon assembled in the house of Advaita, everyone was coming. There was Gadadhar, and there was Haridas, and there was Buddhimanta, and there was Sridhar, and there was Murari Gupta, and all the devotees of Navadvip, and soon from Shrikanda, Mukunda Das, Raghunandan, Lochandas, Narahari, they all arrived. From Kulinagram, Satyaraj Kam and Ramananda arrived. Devotees filled the house of Advaitacharya. And there was Kal Krishna Das giving them Mahaprasad of Lord Chaitanya, giving them Mahaprasad of Jagannath, telling Lord Chaitanya's Leela. Advaitacharya had a wonderful festival of Kirtan and Harikatha and Prasad for several days to celebrate Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's arrival in Puri. And they all decided, immediately we will all go to Puri. But when there's so many devotees, about 200, some arrangements need to be made. But this is the mercy of the Vaishnavas. Srila Prabhupada's very beloved godbrother, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Dev Maharaj, told a story. He was the president of Gaudiya Mutt in Madras. And one brahmachari was having inappropriate relationships. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur met that brahmachari and told him, you must leave the mutt. You can go outside, but you cannot stay here. And the brahmachari was crying and begging, and he said, you leave. The brahmachari left. And then Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said to the president, Sridhar Maharaj, bring him back, give him shelter. He said, how can I give him shelter when you won't give him shelter? I'm only here as your servant. And Srila Saraswati Thakur cited this story of Kal Krishna Das. He said, Lord Chaitanya had to give an example. So he was very hard like a thunderbolt, so that devotees don't take things cheaply. But he personally arranged for his devotees to show compassion. So similarly, you should show him compassion. Meanwhile, Paramananda Puri, who Lord Chaitanya had met at the Rishabh Hill during his South Indian tour, Lord Chaitanya invited him, please come to Puri and live with me. So Paramananda Puri, he went to Navadvip. First place he went to Navadvip was to see Sachi Devi. And Sachi Devi so graciously gave him a place in her home where he was living. When Kal Krishna Das came, and he heard that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned to Puri, he was so happy. He was going to go with all the other devotees, but he saw that it was taking time for the devotees to organize, so he just left himself. He took one servant named, or one other devotee came with him named Kamalakanta. It's a wonderful story of how devotees are very dear to the Lord when devotees are dear to each other. The concept of devotee care. It is what makes our devotional service dear to Krishna. When Paramananda Puri arrived in Puri, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw him as the godbrother of his guru, a disciple of Madhavendra Puri. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so happy. Lord Chaitanya himself bowed at the feet of Paramananda Puri. He worshipped him and honored him as he would worship and honor his own spiritual master. They embraced. Paramananda Puri in Krishna's Leela is Uddhava, Krishna's dearmost friend in Mathura and Dwarka. Paramananda Puri told, I could not wait for the other devotees. I had to come immediately. Lord Chaitanya praised Paramananda Puri with so much honor, respect, and affection. He said, I want you to stay here in Puri forever with me. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally arranged for Paramananda Puri to have a room very close to his own in the house of Kashi Mishra. The next day, Swarup Damodar Goswami arrived in Puri. He was one of the Lord's very close associates in Navadvip. His name was then Purushottam Acharya. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left Navadvip and took sannyas, all the devotees, they all responded in the madness of their love and separation. Purushottam Acharya, the way he responded in the madness of his separation, if my Lord Gauranga has taken sannyas, then I'm taking sannyas too. He went to Varanasi and accepted sannyas. His guru's name was Chaitanya Nanda. And here Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami and Srila Prabhupada describe the spirit of sannyas, which really means the spirit of renunciation. Its purpose is simply to absorb ourselves completely in remembering Krishna, in serving Krishna, in hearing about Krishna, in honoring Krishna's devotees and chanting Krishna's holy names. He did not adopt many of the external formalities of sannyas. He fully imbibed the spirit of sannyas. He didn't change his name to a sannyasi name. As a brahmachari of Chaitanyananda Bharati, he was meant to be named Bharati. But the brahmachari name is Swarup, so he just kept that name. and so many of the external features of a sannyasi. He did not want fame, he did not want prestige. He simply wanted to dedicate his life for the single purpose of absorption in Krishna consciousness. He asked his guru for the permission to go to Puri, to fully take shelter of Lord Chaitanya. When he received that blessing, he arrived, offered his dandavats and wonderful prayers. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, upon seeing him, lifted him up and embraced him, and they both wept in ecstasy to be together again. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "I just had a dream that you would come. I was blind, and now that you have come, I could see again." Please hear carefully. Swarup Damodar Goswami, he said, "In my madness, I left you. I left you and went to a foreign land. But you are so merciful, you are so kind. Although I did abandon you in this way, you grabbed me by the hair and you dragged me back. That is your mercy." This is the devotional feelings of Swarup Damodar Goswami, but it also applies so much to all of us. Why are we in this material world? Why do we remain in this material world? Because we have abandoned Krishna. How many lifetimes have we ignored Krishna? Krishna's the controller, the proprietor, and the enjoyer of everything that exists. How many times have each and every one of us tried to be the controller, the enjoyer, the proprietor? How many of us want to be recognized and worshipped when ultimately the supreme object of all recognition and worship is Krishna? But still, yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. We can forget Krishna, but Krishna never forgets us. We can abandon Krishna, ignore Krishna, reject Krishna. Even the staunchest atheists who are writing books, who have websites with hundreds of millions of followers, defying God, that he doesn't exist, that anyone who believes in God is ignorant and dangerous. Even to such people, Ishvara sarvabhutanam hrideshya tishtati. He's still in their heart. There's nothing anyone can possibly do that will get Krishna to leave their hearts. He may cover himself. Sarvasya chaham hridishani vishtomah tasmitir jnanam apohanam cha vedaishta sarveraham eva vidyo vedanta krit veda vedeva chaham. Krishna seated in our hearts is the source of remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. If we want to forget Krishna, Krishna can give us elaborate, philosophical, scientific, philanthropic, socialistic, convincing arguments to forget him. But we only have the power to forget Krishna by the mercy of Krishna. And similarly, we only have the power to remember Krishna by the mercy of Krishna. But Krishna never leaves anybody. If someone engages in so many horrible activities that they become a worm, sliding around and drinking the nectar of stool, Krishna's in the heart of that worm. Never leaves him. That's Krishna. So everyone in this material world have abandoned Krishna. The only hope is when Krishna drags us back. And how does he drag us back? Through his devotees. Who here has taken to the path of Krishna consciousness without the association of devotees? How do we even know who Krishna is without the association of devotees? Yayatamam prapadyante tam stadaiva bhajamyaham. As stubborn as we may be, if we just allow Krishna to drag us back. That's what surrender means, Sharanagati. It means just allowing Krishna to drag us back. And Krishna's manifested mercy came in the form of Srila Prabhupada for so many of us. He dragged us back. And the only thing he asked in return was, help me drag other people back. How could we repay you? Devotees asked Srila Prabhupada. He said, just accept what I've given you and share it with others. So on behalf of Srila Prabhupada, the devotees of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness are just helping Prabhupada to help Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, to help our Guru Parampara and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu to bring people back to the eternal loving service of the Lord. Swarup Damodar Goswami presented himself in this way, that by your mercy you dragged me back to you after I abandoned you for so long. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave Swarup Damodar Goswami a wonderful place right beside his own, and gave Swarup Damodar Goswami the service of being his constant associate as his personal secretary. His name was Swarup, but because he was such a wonderful musician, he would sing. When he would sing the songs of Chandidas, Vidyapati, the Gita Govinda of Jayadev Goswami, when he would sing the slokas of Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would enter into the deepest states of Sri Radharani's love for Krishna. Swarup Damodar Goswami in the Leela of Sri Radha Govinda is Lalita Saki, most intimate, loving maidservant of Sri Radharani, making every possible arrangement for her loving devotional offerings to Krishna. And Sri Ramananda Rai Vishaka, they were the constant associates of Lord Chaitanya. Kaviraj Goswami tells that Swarup Damodar Goswami, he sang music like a Gandharva. He had knowledge like Brihaspati. He was an ocean of transcendental, merciful qualities. the next day, a devotee entered into Lord Chaitanya's room, Gambhira, at the house of Kashi Mishra. And he introduced himself. My name is Govinda. I was the personal servant for many years of Srila Ishwara Puri. And when our Guru Maharaj was about to leave this world, he gave me the instruction to come to be your personal servant. Myself and Kashishwar Pandit were both personally serving Ishwara Puri, and he gave us both this instruction. Kashishwar Pandit has gone to some holy places before he comes, but I have come immediately. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced Govinda. Then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, who was present, he asked a question because he was perplexed. How is this person the personal servant of Ishwara Puri? Great sannyasi, great acharya. Govinda's coming from a lower caste of society. He's a Sudra. Why would Ishwara Puri keep his constant companion and servant a Shudra? This is not according to my understanding of Vedic principles. Lord Chaitanya said that the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his pure devotees are not subjected to these technical rules and regulations. Krishna and his pure devotees are bound by only one thing: affection. Affection transcends all these social rules and regulations and restrictions. Lord Chaitanya gave the example of Krishna went to the house of Vidura and took prasad. Vidura was a Sudra also. But because of his affection for the Lord, because of the affection in which he served, that transcended all boundaries. And the Lord gave him his full mercy. Now our acharyas are telling us how important it is to carefully follow the rules and regulations that are important for us. Atapumbir dvijastrestas varana shrama vibhagasha shvanustatasya dharmasya samsadir haritoshana. Whatever our varna or whatever our occupation may be, the highest level of consciousness is when we have affection for Krishna. And that affection is expressed through pleasing Krishna. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Navadvip, he gave us the wonderful analogy that Hanuman wasn't a Brahmin. Hanuman was a monkey. Kubja, she was just a hunchback lady. Shabari, she was an outcast, uneducated. She had nothing. She had absolutely nothing in her life. She was living in a little cave. All she had was affection. And she conquered Ram. So Srila Prabhupada and our acharyas, they're telling us it is important. These 4 regulative principles, chanting 16 rounds, Nasta Prayeshu Bhadreshu, Prabhupada stressed Mangalarti, attending Srimad Bhagavatam class. These rules and regulations are very important to keep us pure and to keep us strong. But alone, without the spirit of affection, they're hollow. We try to be strict, and we should be strict. It's very important. But with affection, with devotion, with compassion. If we don't understand this principle, we could become hard-hearted. Because after all, so many Mayavadis, they're very strict. We have seen people, they don't even eat. A little water once a week. Fasting, so much. We have seen staunch celibates, no possessions, living in caves. So they're following many of the same rules and regulations that we're meant to follow to an extreme sense. But they don't have affection. They don't have bhakti. So it's all hollow. So we have to be careful. This balance is so essential. We have to be very strict, but at the same time in the spirit of affection. Otherwise, Krishna doesn't really accept it. So in this case, it's specifically speaking about Govinda being from a lower caste, which in those days was a very profound disqualification for anyone. But Lord Chaitanya wanted to propound to the world what bhakti really is. He made Haridas Thakur the Nam Acharya. Harinam is the Yuga Dharma for this age. And of all of his associates, many were the greatest, the most powerful, pure-hearted Brahmins. Why he made an untouchable outcast the Acharya of the Yuga Dharma? Because of Haridas Thakur's affection. Haridas Thakur was also very strict. He's the Acharya. He chanted 192 rounds a day. And no matter how Maya or anyone tried to seduce him, he was very, very strict and detached. But it was his affection, his love, his compassion. Even when people tried to beat him and kill him and blaspheme him, he was still seeing Krishna in their heart and the well-wisher and begging and praying for Krishna to forgive them and show mercy to him. Such affection. After saying this, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was convinced that yes, beyond the rules and regulations of all these sociological norms, this person has love and devotion, he has affection. And therefore, he's completely accepted and honored by the great souls. But then Lord Chaitanya asked a question to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. He said, how can I accept him as my servant? He's my god brother. Not only is my god brother, he was the personal servant of my guru. Therefore, he's worshipable to me. How can I allow him to serve me? And Srila Prabhupada explained in this regard that one should always honor one's god brothers and god sisters. One should not think that they are meant to serve me. We should serve them. And Prabhupada explains we address each other as Prabhu. When I say Prabhu, that doesn't mean you're my servant. When we say Prabhu, that means I'm your servant. And this is a very, very deep subject matter that's being revealed in this wonderful pastime. Lord Chaitanya is saying, he's my Prabhu. How could I allow him to serve me? And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's reply that the order of the Guru is very strong. A great personality, like a father, their order is very strong. And he quoted from Ramayana, where Ram, after he was banished to the forest for 14 years, he told Sita, that because it's the order of my father, it must be honored. So our spiritual fathers, when they give an instruction, that has precedent over so many other considerations. Ishwara Puri, your Guru Maharaj, has ordered him to serve you, so that must be honored. So then Lord Chaitanya again embraced Govinda and accepted him as his servant. Very interesting. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, whose aspiration was Gopi Bharatur Padakamalayora Dasa Dasa Das Anu Das. He served Govinda by allowing Govinda to serve him. Hare Krishna. Now among devotees, sometimes if we have a little higher position in the hierarchy of Krishna consciousness and somebody's assisting us, we shouldn't get under the illusion that I'm the master and this person is my servant. That's poison to the devotional creeper. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching us here that I'm the servant of every devotee. And in the service of the devotee, I'm allowing this devotee to serve me. Srila Prabhupada, sometimes he would address his disciples as Prabhu. He said, you are all representatives of my Guru Maharaj. He has sent all of you. So he was taking the role of our Guru to serve us. He was giving us instructions as a service to us. Sometimes he would even chastise us in the mood to serve us, to uplift us. Because this is what a Vaishnava is, a servant of everyone. I often cite that precious moment in my life in Vrindavan in 1971. Srila Prabhupada was sitting on the floor in a little room in a house called Sharaf Bhavan. And some very notable leaders of the Vrindavan community were there to meet him, and some journalists also. Just about a half dozen people. I was just sitting in a back corner just watching. And one of these persons asked Prabhupada, "Are you the guru of the whole world?" And on this particular occasion, Srila Prabhupada looked down with such humility. After some time, he looked up again and he said, "No, I am the servant of everyone. That's all." That's a Vaishnava. Servant of every living being. But we serve in such a way according to what will please Krishna. Our Vedic scriptures, Narada Muni tells Dhruva Maharaj that to our superiors we serve them by assisting them, by following what they teach us, by inquiring from them and learning. To our equals by making very, very intimate friendship with them, by confiding with one another, by sharing with one another. To our juniors, by uplifting them, by showing compassion for them, by caring for them. And for those who are inimical, envious, we serve them by keeping away from them. We avoid them, but that's our service. Because otherwise they could steal away our devotional life. Mahat sevam dwaram ahurvam oktayas tamodwaram yoshita sangi sangam. By associating with great souls, the doors to the highest liberation are opened, and by associating with those people who are envious, even if they're devotees. If people are blasphemous or envious, what to speak of people who are too much trying to drag us into materialistic life. It opens the doors to bondage and ignorance. But devotees are not judgmental. They're servants of everyone, but they understand the subtle art of how to serve according to time, place, and the person. Kaladesha Patra. Govinda was accepted as the personal servant of Lord Chaitanya. He became so dear to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in every way. But in the next verses, it reveals something so special about what a Vaishnava's character is. Govinda is now constant associate, intimate, confidential with Lord Chaitanya, but yet in the same mood. Kaviraj Goswami tells, Govinda served all the Vaishnavas. He had no pride. He was so humble that he would see to every devotee's needs according to his capacity. He made such loving friendship with all the devotees. Govinda was more dear than very life to every Vaishnava. Why? Because every Vaishnava was more dear to life to Govinda. Along with seeing to every possible need of Lord Chaitanya, he was constantly trying according to his capacity to serve and to see to every need of every devotee. And in this way it is told how Govinda was so dear to all the Vaishnavas. There was such loving friendship on the basis of this principle of spiritual affection. The next day, Mukunda Dutt comes to Gambhira, to Lord Chaitanya's room, and says, Brahmananda Bharati has come to Puri. And Lord Chaitanya said, my spiritual master, Brahmananda Bharati, he has come. Mukunda Dutt said, should I bring him here? Lord Chaitanya said, he is my spiritual master. He was an associate of Keshav Bharati. He said, no, he should not come here out of etiquette. I should go there to meet with him where he is. So Lord Chaitanya immediately left everything else and went with Mukunda Dutt to the residence or to the place where Brahmananda Bharati was. When they arrived, Lord Chaitanya saw Brahmananda Bharati dressed in a deer skin. Lord Chaitanya asked Mukunda Dutt, where is Brahmananda Bharati? He was only a few inches away. Mukunda Dutt said, he's standing right here in front of you. Lord Chaitanya said, I don't see Brahmananda Bharati. Where is Brahmananda Bharati? Mukunda Dutt said, he's here. He said, Brahmananda Bharati would never wear a deer skin. At that moment, Brahmananda Bharati in his heart, he was thinking, my deer skin is not pleasing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I'm only wearing this deer skin out of false ego, so that people will think I'm very renounced, I'm very austere, and I'm very great. And as soon as he humbled himself totally in this way, Lord Chaitanya could understand. He didn't say anything. He didn't even look at him. But by Lord Chaitanya's arrangement, someone came and brought just simple sannyasi robes. Brahmananda Bharati took off the deerskin, put on the sannyasi robes. And as soon as he did that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu offered his prostrated obeisances to Brahmananda Bharati and began to offer beautiful prayers and honor him as his spiritual master. Ramananda Bharati explained, he said, my Lord, you are so merciful. I could not recognize it. But after you spoke what you did, I could understand in my own heart. It was revealed to me. My own false ego. I was dressing in such a way to get fame, to get prestige, to be worshipped, to be honored. I was not dressing in this way for your service, for your pleasure, but it was for my own. But you have exposed me. And now I surrender and take shelter of you. Brahmananda Bharati, he said, I can understand that there are two Brahmans in Jagannath Puri. One is Jagannath, who is stationary, sitting on the altar, and the other is Gauranga, who is moving around. Jagannath has a shamala, blackish complexion, and you are having a golden complexion. Lord Chaitanya, he understood the mentality of Brahmananda Bharati. He said, actually, there are two Brahmans in Puri. One is Jagannath, who's sitting on the altar without moving, and the other is Ramananda Bharati and me, Gora. What Lord Chaitanya was explaining here is there is one supreme Brahman, and there are many, many part and parcel Brahmans who are the jivas. He wanted to differentiate. Mamaivam so jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. We are all infinitesimal part and parcel of Krishna. Nityo nityanam chaitanas chaitananam eko bahunam yobidadati kaman. That there is one supreme Brahman, supreme eternal, and there are limitless Brahmans who are eternal. But those limitless Brahmans are all subordinate to the one supreme Brahman. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was teaching this achintya bheda bheda tattva. That we are all simultaneously one with Krishna. At the same time, Krishna is supreme, and we are eternal servants of Krishna. So Brahmananda Bharati asked Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, it appears that we both disagree. I am saying there are two Brahmans, two supreme Brahmans, and he is saying that he's a jiva, like us. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, you are a great learned scholar. You please give the judgment to who is correct. And then Brahmananda said that actually I understand that we are all jivas, and I am a jiva, and all living beings are jiva, but Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the supreme Brahman. How can I understand? Because he detected my false ego when I wore that deer skin, and he so mercifully delivered me from my false ego, and in doing so, he's enlightened me. He must be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu must be Jagannath. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, hearing that, said, Brahmananda Bharati is victorious. He has won. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very expertly, lovingly turned it around. He said, yes, I accept Brahmananda Bharati is victorious. And because he defeated me, that proves that he is my guru and I am his disciple. A disciple always likes to be defeated by his guru. Brahmananda Bharati turned that around. He said, there is a truth. Actually, it is your nature. Because you are Jagannath, you are Krishna. Krishna loves to be defeated by his devotee. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, you are both correct. And Brahmananda Bharati said, let me tell you how the Lord has defeated me. Before today, my mind from my earliest childhood was absorbed in the impersonal Brahman as the ultimate goal of life. I considered that everything is Brahman, everything is one. But in the presence of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I have understood that I'm the eternal servant of Krishna. That is his power. Brahmananda Bharati quoted from the Krishna Karnamrita by Bilvamangala Thakur, where Bilvamangala Thakur said, previously I was an impersonalist and I was being worshipped as a liberated soul, and I was being worshipped as a great enlightened practitioner of yoga. But then my mind got stolen by this beautiful little cowherd boy who plays with gopis. And now I surrender my heart only to him as his eternal loving servant. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted Brahmananda Bharati as one of his 4 gurus in Jagannath Puri. And he also became a constant associate of Lord Chaitanya. It was around that time that Kashishwar Pandit arrived in Puri. He was also sent by Ishwara Puri to serve our beloved Lord. He was very strong. In Krishna consciousness, whatever Krishna gives us, we have an opportunity to use it in his service. One of the special services of Kashishwar Pandit is whenever Lord Chaitanya would go to Jagannath Temple for the darshan of Jagannath, there would be often large crowds of people, and he would clear the way so that Lord Chaitanya could comfortably walk and no one would touch him. He was also one of the main devotees who would distribute prasad to all the other Vaishnavas. It's very interesting when we read the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taking prasad with the assembly of Vaishnavas. The most elevated Vaishnavas took the service of serving the prasad. Swarup Damodar Goswami, Jagadananda Pandit, Kashishwar Pandit, direct personal servant of Ishwar Puri. It was their great joy to please Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by serving the prasad to the devotees. Gradually, so many devotees from all directions were coming to Puri to meet with Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya was compared to the sea, and all the devotees were like many, many rivers converging together in the loving service of the Lord. It was at that time that King Prataparudra came to Puri from his capital in Cuttack. In fact, he came with Ramananda Rai. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya asked Lord Chaitanya, this king named Prataparudra wants to meet you. Lord Chaitanya held his ears. He said, how could you ask me to meet a king? I am a sannyasi. I must set an example for society. To associate with such a materialistic person, it's worse than drinking poison willingly. If you ask this question again, I will leave this place. Hare Krishna. That's how he responded. When Ramananda Rai came to Puri, he immediately went to the Gambhira to meet Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Chaitanya was so pleased to see him because they had such wonderful pastimes together in Vidyanagar, Kavur in South India. And Ramananda Rai told Lord Chaitanya that you asked me to resign from my government service as the governor of the whole province to come and live with you in Puri. I went to King Prataparudra and expressed your desire. As soon as he heard your name, he jumped up from his throne. His limbs were trembling. He was crying. He said, you are so fortunate. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has asked you to be with him as his personal associate. He said, not only do I give you permission to give up your very important government services, but I will give you full pension and full salary for the rest of your life. You are so fortunate. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will not allow me to have his darshan because of my materialistic fallen state, but he's inviting you to be his personal associate. Please go. Ramananda Rai said to Lord Chaitanya, as soon as he heard your name, he went into such a state of ecstatic love. I wish I even had a single drop of the kind of love that the king has for you. Lord Chaitanya's heart softened. He quoted from the Adi Purana, where Krishna tells Arjuna, then greater than a devotee who worships me is a devotee who does seva to a Vaishnava, to other devotees. That is more dear to me. Lord Chaitanya quoted from the Padma Purana, where Lord Shiva is speaking to Durga. He said to her, more dear to me than my own devotees are the devotees of Vishnu. Because he's the Supreme Lord of all lords. But more dear than the devotees of Vishnu are those who are devoted servants of Krishna's devotees. Lord Chaitanya said, because Ramananda Rai, King Prataparudra has given you so much happiness. He's served you in such a way, Krishna will certainly bestow his full mercy upon him. Meanwhile, King Prataparudra again approached Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. He said, my kingdom and my life are totally useless if I don't have the association, the darshan of Lord Chaitanya. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, I've asked the Lord. He was very upset. He said he would leave here and never come back if I even ask him again. King Prataparudra was so affected by that. He said, if I am unfit for the darshan of Lord Chaitanya, then I will give up my life. All my kingdom, all my power, all my wealth, everything has no value if I'm not giving pleasure to Lord Chaitanya. He said this with such sincerity. He had such determination that nothing in this world, whatever it is, has any value without a favorable connection of service to Krishna. Dritavrata, determination and faith. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was astonished. Such a great personality is this king. And then he told King Prataparudra, Lord Chaitanya spoke this to me, but because Ramananda Rai was so happy with you, Lord Chaitanya's heart has been softened. Because of your determination and because you have pleased the Lord's devotee, during the Ratha Yatra, the Lord will rest in a garden near Gundicha. At that time, you will enter into the garden disguised in the dress of a Vaishnava, and you will massage the Lord's body. He will be in such an internal state of consciousness. You will chant the beautiful prayers of the gopis, the Gopi Gita from the Srimad Bhagavatam. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will bestow his full blessings. He will embrace you and soak you with his tears. Just be patient. King Prataparudra became very happy. Then King Prataparudra asked, when is the Snan Yatra? Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, it's just in a couple days. And immediately, King Prataparudra started making so many arrangements for seva to Lord Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra Mai. The wonderful Ratha Yatra Snan Yatra took place. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with his associates gazed with great happiness upon Lord Jagannath and his brother and sister as they were given full abhishekam. After, during the Annavasara, when Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra are brought to a secluded place, Lord Chaitanya could not tolerate the separation from the Lord. He could not tolerate remaining in Puri without every day seeing the beautiful lotus eyes of Lord Jagannath. He left and went to Alalanath, a very ancient sacred temple. How many of you have been to Alalanath? You have seen, just beside the temple, there's a large stone. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in separation of Lord Jagannath, in the mood of Sri Radha, he would be in such a state of viraha bhav that the stone melted. And the imprint of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's body still today can be seen in that stone, as he pathetically cried in the ecstasy of separation, day after day. But then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya sent a message to Lord Chaitanya that 200 of his devotees from Bengal, headed by Advaitacharya, are just now arriving in Puri. Even though Lord Chaitanya was in such inconceivably profound separation from Lord Jagannath, when he heard the devotees were coming, he became ecstatic. He left Alalanath to come to Puri to serve and associate with the Vaishnavas. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya told King Prataparudra, that at Narendra Sarovar, the devotees of Bengal they have arrived, they have gathered. And now they're just coming toward Lord Chaitanya's residence. King Prataparudra was so eager. He said, I want to see these devotees. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, let us go on the rooftop of your palace. We could see them all. The king said, please tell me, who is each of these great souls? Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, even I never met any of them. But Gopinathacharya, my brother-in-law, he knows all of them. So they called Gopinathacharya, and the three of them were on the palace roof. The devotees were coming from Narendra Sarovar toward the temple of Jagannath, just passing by the palace, dancing so gracefully while sweetly singing the holy names. It's the most beautiful sight in all of creation, to sing all of you with your arms raised under the spell of Srila Prabhupada's mercy, chanting the holy names together. Please. I've become speechless, but I have to say something. When King Prataparudra saw the devotees singing and dancing, he was astounded. He said, I have never seen anything like this. Each and every devotee is effulgent. They are effulgent like 10 million suns. And they're dancing so infinitely graceful. And they're singing so sweet and melodious. Never, ever have I seen anything like this. Such effulgence, such singing, such dancing, such kirtan. And Srila Prabhupada tells that King Prataparudra has seen thousands and thousands of kirtan parties, because everyone comes to Jagannath Temple. But he never saw anything like this. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he told, this, what you are seeing, is the creation of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It is Prem Sankirtan. The congregational chanting of the holy name in ecstatic love for Krishna. Hare Krishna. We will continue tomorrow. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Is there any announcements today? I'm happy to inform you there's no announcements. I think on that note we should perform Prem Sankirtan. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Vaschatya Desatharine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Please raise your arms and chant very loud. Krishna, Hare Hare. Much louder, please. Hare Rama, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Many millions of times louder, with great feeling, crying out for the Lord's mercy. Raise your arms very high when you're chanting. Raising our arms in the mood of Sharanagati. My beloved Lord, I am yours. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Bol. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, everyone please. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Much louder with great feeling. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Bol. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Please dance in many, many circles, small circles. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Bol. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Haribo. Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Haribo. Gaur Premanandi, Jai Jai Sri Radhe, Jai Jai Sri Radhe, Jai Jai Sri Radhe. Shree Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Mayi ki jai. Shree Jagannath Puri Dham ki jai. Ananti Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki. Shri Hari Nam Sankirtan ki. Go Premanandi. Nitai Gaur Haribo, 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 Haribo. Nitai Gaur Haribo, 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 Haribo. Haraye Namah Krishna Yadavaya Namah.
Namah Krishna Yadavaya Namah. Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namah. Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya. Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namah.
Gopal Govinda Ram Sri Madhusudana.
Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudana.
Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan.
Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan. Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohana.
Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Sita.
Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Sita.
Adi Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita.
Adi Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita.
Sri Rupa Sanatana Bhatha Raghunatha.
Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunatha
Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunatha
Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunatha
Hari Haraye Namo Krishna Yadavaya Namaha
Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai 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 Prabhupada 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 Prabhupada
Jai Prabhupada 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 Prabhupada
Jai Jai Jagannath 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 Jagannath
Jai Jai Jagannath 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 Jagannath
Jai Jai Jagannath 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 Jai Jagannath
Jai Jai Jagannath 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 Jagannath
Nitai Go Haribo 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 Haribo
Nitai Gaur Haribol 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 Haribol
Vansha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Thank you very much.
नमामीश्वरम् सच्चिदानन्दरूपम् लसत्कुण्डलम् गोकुले व्रजमानम् नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपम् लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले व्रजमानम् यशोदाभियो लोकलाघवमानं परामृष्टम् अत्यन्ततो धृत्य गोप्या रुदन्तमोहोर्नेत्रयुग्मामृजन्तम् कराम्भोजयुग्मेन शतङ्कनेत्रम् मोहोश्वासकं पात्रिरेखाङ्ककण्ठ स्थितग्रैवं दामोदरं भक्तिबद्धम् इति दृक्स्वलीलाभिरानन्दकुण्डे स्वघोषं निमज्जन्तम् आख्यापयन्तम् तदीयेषितज्ञेषु भक्तर्जितत्वं पुनः प्रेमतस्तं शतावृत्ति वन्दे वरं देवमोक्षं न मोक्षवधिं वा न चान्यं वृणेऽहं वरेषदपीह इदं ते वपुर्नाथ गोपाल बालं सदा मे मनस्या विरास्तं किमन्यै इदं ते मुखाम्भोजम् अत्यन्तनीलय ऋतं कुन्तलय स्निग्धय रक्तश्च गोप्या मोहोश्चुम्बितं बिम्बरक्तधरं मे मनस्या विरास्तम् अलम लक्ष्यलाभै। नमो देव दामोदर अनंत विष्णु प्रसीद प्रभो दुःख जलधिमग्नम्। कृपा दृष्टिवृष्ट्याति दिनं बतानो गृहाणि क्षामामज्ञां यद्यक्षिदृश्या। कुबेरात्मजो बद्ध मूर्त्यैव यद्वा त्वया मोचितो भक्ति भजौ कृतौ च। तथा प्रेम भक्तिं स्वकाम्ये प्रयच्छ न मोक्षे ग्रहो मेस्ति दामोदरे। नमस्ते स्तु दाम्ने स्फुरादीप्तिदाम्ने त्वदीयोदरायथ विश्वस्य धाम्ने। नमो राधिकाय त्वदीय प्रियाय नमो अनन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यम्। नमो राधिकाय त्वदीय प्रियाय नमो अनन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यम्। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Oh Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo Ramo Hare Hare Jaya Radha Damodar Radhe Jaya Radha Damodar Radhe Jaya Radha Gopinath Radhe Jaya Jagannath Jaya Balladeva Jaya Subhadra Mai Jaya Sudarshana Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Nithai Gaur Haribol Gaur Haribol Shri Radha Damodar Bhagwan ki jai Shri Damodar Ashtakam ki jai Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda ki